thousands of barrels of diluted fuel. Enough energy to power the future of this world. But right now, none of it is going anywhere. The Caldris refinery sits quietly along the coastline. Its tanks full. Its pipelines ready. Waiting. Because the fuel alone does not power a world. It has to be turned into something more. And to push this world forward, we're going to need power on a scale it has never seen before. So sit back, grab a drink, this is the Voltrix. The Helion, our first fuel generator plant, nestled into the Spire coast. For a long time, it carried this world, stabilising the grid while the factories began to grow. But the Helion was only ever the beginning, because this world is expanding. Factories spreading across new landscapes. Railways beginning to stretch across the horizon, and the power demands are rising with them. To take the next step, we need something bigger, much bigger. The Caldris sits out on the coastline. Originally, I searched further down the shore for a place to build, but nothing quite felt right. No natural shape to guide the design, no boundaries to push against. So instead, I turned back to where it all began. A small stretch of land just below the Frank, carved gently by the river below. Rock formations on either side. A natural valley cutting through the terrain. Not empty space, but space with character. And sometimes, the land already knows the design. It is just waiting for someone to discover it. The first foundations placed here are not machines. They are a shape. A long sweeping S-curve laid carefully across the valley using Curve Builder. Following the terrain as it bends along the river. At this point, the build is still an unknown. Like most of my factories, it evolves as I go. But this first line is important, because if the foundations are wrong, the entire structure will struggle to find its place. And often, the most important foundations in a build are the ones nobody will ever see. Originally, the plan was simple. Attach the fuel generator blueprints directly to the curve, but very quickly a problem appears. The fuel arriving here from the Caldris still needs to be unpackaged. 27 unpackages in total. And there is simply not enough space to fit them cleanly within the original layout. So, the design begins to adapt. Some of the generator arms are stepped back away from the curve, creating space between the structure and the terrain. Into that gap, a modified packaging blueprint from the Caldris refinery slides into place, solving the logistics problem and at the same time introducing variation in height across the build. Sometimes the best decisions come from problems you did not expect. Walkways stretch between the generator arms. Walls rise around the machinery. Windows opening out toward the surrounding landscape. Slowly, the factory stops feeling like a collection of machines and starts feeling like a single, cohesive structure. Because factories do not have to be purely functional, they can be places, spaces people move through, structures that belong to the world around them. The fuel arriving here will travel by train, a temporary railway line connecting the Caldris refinery to the new plant. It is not permanent, Eventually, this entire coastline will be connected properly. A full railway running through the landscape, a bridge crossing the water, and a much larger train depot waiting somewhere in the future. But that is a problem for future Ginge. Right now, the important thing is getting the power online. And slowly, the Voltrix begins to emerge. "80 fuel generators, producing 20 gigawatts of power. Curving along the river, following the shape of the valley. From the water, the entire structure stretches across the landscape. Part infrastructure, part architecture. Part landscape itself. Because good infrastructure does not fight the terrain, it learns to live within it. The Helians stabilized this world. The Caldris gave us the fuel. And now, the Voltrix turns that fuel into something far more powerful. The energy that will carry this world into its next chapter. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you to everyone supporting the channel and the series. This world has been growing for hundreds of hours now. And the goal this year is to reach 20,000 subscribers. But that only happens with your help. So if you enjoyed the episode, liking, commenting, sharing it with fellow pioneers really does make a difference. For now though, fuel travels to the Voltrix, and the power waits for our next big build.